I know you are. I know you are. Baby girl, it's just feel like a star. And I know you are. I know you are. I know you are when I met you. Nilitamani nikupeleke kwetu. Good vibes and I'm grateful. Hapa nitapanda mbegu. You deserve to feel things you never felt before. That you like I never did before. You don't know what's in store for you. Melanin and so much more. Heavy is your crown. The way you hold me down. I hope I never let you down, my love. Every girl deserves to feel like a star. And I know you are. I know you are. I know you are. Every girl deserves to feel like a star. Deserves to feel like a star. And I know you are. I know you are. I know you are. I knew you were when I met you. That one day I would be able to say yes to you. Good vibes and I'm grateful. Obvious to me that you're special. I'm ready to give like I never did before. Love you like it's an open door. You don't know what's in store for you. Never there's so much more for you. Heavy is your crown, and still you hold me down. I ain't gonna ever let you down, my love. Every man deserves to feel like a king.
Hamzambo family, you're welcome to the 54 Corresponding Show on the Black Fire Network. We were just about to jam all the freshest music coming all the way from East Africa, and the name of the band is known as Sauti Soul, and they happen to feature the one and only India Ring. If you're a big fan of India Ring, I do believe that you get to enjoy that particular song. It goes by the name. What was the name of that particular song again? But that is a Saudi Soul and India Ring, and I hope that you got to enjoy a little bit of it. And of course, remember you can check it out also on our official station, which is www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. How are you doing this particular day? I would just like to know, how is your day coming along? Of course, it's 2 p.m. 2 minutes to 2 p.m. right here in Nairobi. And wherever this particular day finds you, I hope that the day finds you in good health. And I do hope that everything is going on well for you and your family. On the 54 Corresponding Show, we are normally all about what is happening across the continent of Africa. We normally delve into matters taking place in the south of Africa, east of Africa, central Africa, and even the north of Africa and West Africa as well. There are some people that do claim that you do have some countries on the continent of Africa that do not have names. For example, the Central African Republic. What is the name of that country? And even if you talk about South Africa, really, what is the name of that particular country? Among other different nations that you will find right here on the beautiful continent. But nonetheless, I do not want to get into diplomatic issues. Why do the countries have names? For me, I believe they should not just be called South Africa, or they should not just be called Central African Republic or Western Sahara. I believe they should have proper names. And of course, one of the countries that was in that particular situation is a country that goes by the name Western Sahara. They decided to rebrand it, and now it goes by the name Sahrawi because it's a land of the Sahrawi people. I do believe that even other countries should be rebranded. And now, of course, remember, names do keep on changing consistently. For example, we do have the country which is known as the DRC Congo, or the Democratic Republic of Congo. But at some point, it had been converted into Zaire. It had been converted into Zaire, and that was done by the president Mobutu Sese Seko when he was still in power. And eventually, they got back to the original name, which is Congo, and it's actually a good thing. We do have two countries on the continent of Africa that have the name Congo. We do have the actual Congo; it's a small country, and also do have the DRC Congo, which is wider. And I believe at some point these were two nations. But then again, they were divided among the colonial powers. We all know that before 1884, we did not have the boundaries in Africa. But what we do have today is many people from different nationalities talking about how they do not want to be involved with anyone else who is not from their own nation. But you forget that, even before the colonialism, the countries, we did not have countries in Africa. There were just kingdoms, and these kingdoms incorporated many different countries. For example, yesterday on the 54 Corresponding Show, we were discussing about the issue of Ghana, and I shall also be continuing with the same today. But I want to highlight right here on the show that Ghana and Togo, at some point, these were just people from the same kingdom. And therefore, even if you want to talk about the Ghanaians and the Togolese people, these are just, this one, they're just one people. But then again, there was the borders that were set up by the colonialists, the Belgians, the British, the French, the Mozambique, sorry, the Portuguese, and all these other different colonial powers. Some of them really did not have a lot of influence on the continent. For example, the Italians and the Spaniards, we did have, they wanted to have Somalia. They wanted to take over the Horn of Africa, Somalia, and Ethiopia, but the Italians were not really successful with that. We also do have the Spaniards, and the only Spanish colony on the continent is Equatorial Guinea. We do not have any other French continent colony on the continent, and therefore you look at some of these European nations and their share of the African continent, and I find that they did not deserve none of that. I do not mean that there is any country that deserves to have, colonized or taken away the resources of African people in any way. That is not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that if you look at some, even the Portuguese at least had they had Angola, they had Mozambique, and they had a couple of countries. But I do not want to delve into the colonial history of the continent of Africa. Today we shall be focusing on matters religion. And what has been happening on the African continent, there are two distinct factors that have contributed largely to the division of our people. And these two factors are religion and tribalism. These are the two greatest factors that have contributed to the division of our people. And if you were to get to a point and come to have an agreement or come to have an understanding amongst ourselves about ethnicity, about religion, then we would be far, far, farther ahead compared to where we are right now. Talking about religion, the West African nations, what has been happening with them is that there has been big fights, and these fights are based on religious lines. For example, in Nigeria, we do have the northern part of Nigeria being predominantly Muslim, and of course, in the southern part of Nigeria, we do have the place being predominantly Christian. And of course, Nigeria is the most populous country on the continent of Africa, with over 200 million people. And when you come to think of it, 200 million people, and you do have the Islamic militants who want to convert the country into an Islamic state. I was saying earlier that the northern part of Nigeria is actually occupied or is predominantly Muslim, and then the southern part is also is Christian. Using the example of a country such as Sudan, in Sudan we did have one big country. I think Sudan was one of the largest countries in Africa. We did have Sudan, and the northern part of Sudan was Muslim, Islamic, and then the southern part was actually Christian. And what happened is that eventually there was a division of Sudan into being two countries. Now we do have Sudan, which is predominantly Islamic, and then we do have South Sudan, which is a predominantly Christian country. And if we are not very careful about these divisions along religious lines, then we shall continue seeing the breaking down of many different countries such as it is right now. And of course, Nigeria is divided between adherent Christianity and Islam, and also traditional religion or traditional spirituality, because I believe in the African traditions, we were not really the people that did have religions. In the African society, we do not have religions. But if you go to Nigeria, you will find that even with the conquest of the Europeans of the African continent, there were so many people that were, that were changed, not really changed, but converted. Sorry, that were converted and started ascribing to all these different religions. I'm saying the Islamic religion and the Christianity religion, all these did come with the colonizers or with the Europeans. Before then, if you go back to about, maybe 1,000 years ago, you'll not find any religion in Africa, because they did have spiritual systems, and these are diverse spiritual systems. I do believe in different kingdoms, you would be able to find different kinds of spiritual systems. And now what happened with the introduction of, with the coming of the Europeans, what happened is that now people started getting swayed, started getting convinced otherwise, and they were converted into either Islam or they were also converted into either Christianity. I believe that was through the work of the missions. For example, let me just use the context of the DRC Congo. In the DRC Congo, we did have the Belgians coming up and taking over the country. And what did happen is that there was the King Leopold. There was a King Leopold who was actually inviting the missionaries to come into the Congo. And what was being done, there was an attempt, there wasn't really an attempt because it actually succeeded. There was an agenda or a plan to convert people into Christianity and then use this Christianity to demonize their original African spiritual systems, and also use this Christianity to brainwash the people's minds into believing that the white man was their God, and therefore any kind of orders that were given by the white man would not really be, taken lightly. They were to be taken as with a lot of seriousness. And let me share with us what was happening. I believe King Leopold did write to the missionaries, the Catholic missionaries, and there was some advice that he gave to them, or I believe some advice or orders. I believe most of us have seen this particular letter, but this is what was done to the African people using religion. Bombi Dafa, thank you so much for joining us. I do appreciate you. I do hope that you are doing fantastic on yet another wonderful Tuesday, being on the 8th of December. How are things going for you and your family in the Gambia and also in Ethiopia? I would like to know. I hope that everything is going on well with you and your family. Bombi Damfa, next year we do have a trip. I hope that this particular trip we succeed having this particular trip. We hope to have a trip in March, in the month of March, that month of March. And we are aspiring that we shall go back to Tanzania. And when we get back to Tanzania, we are hoping that we can be able to see the lay of the land much better. This year we were in Tanzania at around March, the same time, but we did have a hurried tour because of the COVID-19, and no one expected that things will get as crazy as they did. But we are hoping next year we shall be back in Tanzania. You are much welcome to join us, and everyone else on the Black Hot Fire Network. This is a tour for every one of us, and therefore you are much invited to join us next year in Tanzania, because we believe that will be an absolute delight. I believe that that will also be a good look right there with the rest of the family. This year we were there with Sister Nishpenda. We were also there with Jim and Kondo, and we were also hoping to have a Sister Angela Morris, but things did not work out as we had hoped. And even Sister Angela Morris was not able to embark on the plane and join us in Tanzania. But nonetheless, we do not fret. We hope that next year we shall be able to go back, and we are hoping that we shall be able to have a fantastic time right there. Let me just share with us a brief of what happened in Tanzania with us last year. And it was really interesting. Yeah, we hope we can meet. Let me share briefly when we were with our Sister Nish Penda and Jim, and it was really a wonderful experience. Let me share these with us real quick. This was in Dar es Salaam. It was really interesting.
You can see nobody's really wearing a sweat, especially today. It's even at
German also is also.
Apart from Spice, I don't know if he's.
No, I'm okay. I'm not showing as much as yesterday. We had a different encounter yesterday, yeah. And we shall be sharing that a bit later. For Sister Nisha, I don't know why it has been.
Hold on. Was the food better in Tanzania than it was in Rwanda for you, Candy?
Pardon?
Was the food better in Tanzania?
Was the food better in? Has the food been better so far in Tanzania than it was in Rwanda?
Okay, let me answer it this way. Of course, Rwandan food was also great, but there is a way that the Swahili.
That was us. That was us in Tanzania, and I could tell you the experience was really wonderful. and we had a great time. And we're hoping that this next year, the coming year, we are also hoping that things will also be looking good as they were. Those are some of the videos. I hope I could share a little bit more. Let me see if I can get these on as well.
Final day, so you say get the pago, get the pago, more, get the pago, get the pago. See that day when we get shy, see that day when we get shy, see that day when we get mania, that day when we get mania. Since 1960, yeah, yeah, yeah. That day when we get shy, since 1930, no, no, no. That day when we get shy. Skeleton, 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 skeleton. You dey do your body skeleton, 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 skeleton. You dey do skeleton, 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 skeleton. On your body bang, baby girl pull on, if you want follow. She tell me she might pull on, whatever she dey do it.
That was a little bit of that was a little bit of the photography in Tanzania, and I bet you that was really, really an interesting time. And we hope next year we get the opportunity as well to go back and just see what's good in Tanzania, and maybe even later, hopefully in Zambia. I have established some contacts in Zambia, and I'm hoping also when the opportunity comes, I shall also be able to go see what's good in Zambia, because I do believe Zambia and Zimbabwe are just as great, you know. I believe these two countries are just as great, and therefore I would just like to encourage us. If you are able to join us on the trip, you are much welcome. We shall be giving details on how you can be able to do that, and also the exact dates, because I believe, you know, when you are given an earlier or an advanced notice, you might be able to budget and plan for it much better, because everything requires a financial planning when it comes even to tourism, and not tourism really, but touring the continent. It needs, you know, a budget. And nonetheless, Bombi Damfa, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Talking about the matters of religion on the continent of Africa, and also religious freedoms, and also the freedom of worship. Was telling us a little bit earlier that religion was used for two main purposes, and one of the purposes really was also to have black people in the continent of Africa really submit, you know, there was to bring submission of the black people under the white man. And I was telling us there was one particular letter that was written by the Belgian king, King Leopold. And this is a letter that he sent to the missionaries. You know, he had a very, very strict kind of an approach, and he was giving them an order on what exactly they should be doing when they come to the continent, and especially when they get into the DRC Congo. He had given them some special instructions, and I want to share these with us real quick, and then we shall see how has religion been used on the continent of Africa, and you know, has it done any good to people? And therefore, this is the Africa exponent, and this was the wickedness of what King Leopold revealed by his letter to the missionaries. The letter to the missionaries shows just how King Leopold too had a wicked heart and utter contempt for Africans, just to feed his own selfish and imperialistic desires. And what you get to realize is that one of the most wicked men to walk on this planet. You know, in the DLC we did have the killing of over 10 million people. It's not 10,000, it's not 10 hundreds. This is over 10 million people that were murdered. Um, that were murdered, and this is what he actually wrote to them. And for him, his mission on the continent of Africa, apart from exploiting the resources of Africa, his mission was really, from what he had stated, his mission was to spread civilization and Christianity and commerce. And of course, he had hoped to be able to get the most out of the continent of Africa. And this is what he wrote to the missionaries. This is the letter that was sent to the missionaries. And of course, it reads, Reverends, fathers, and dear compatriots, the task that is given to fulfill is very delicate and requires much tact. And that, talks about tactic. You will go certainly to evangelize, but your evangelization must inspire above all Belgium interest. Do not inspire African interest. Your principal objective in our mission in the Congo is to never teach the niggers to know God. This they know already. When the Congo, when Belgium, King Leopold of Belgium went to the Congo, he did not find people without spirituality. He did not find people who did not know God. He did not find people that were living, without the knowledge of God. And even when the missionaries came, and even when all these other groups came, they did not find people that did not know God. And it was actually far from that. We did have different spiritual systems by different communities, and therefore people already knew about the existence of God. And I said, this they know already. They speak and submit to a Mungu, one Zambi, one Zakoba, and what else I do not know. They know that to kill, to sleep with someone's wife, to lie, and to insult is bad. Have courage to admit it. You are not going to teach them what they already know. Your essential role is to facilitate the task of administrators and industrials, which means you will go to interpret the gospel in the way it will be in the best to protect your interest in that regard. Let me just get it. That is the rest of the letter. In that regard, and of course, he says, for these things, you have to keep watch on these interesting our savages from the richness that is plenty in their underground. To avoid that, they get interested in it and they make you murderers. Competition and dream that one day to overthrow you. Your knowledge of the gospel will allow you to find text ordering and encouraging that your followers love poverty. Like, happier are the poor because they will inherit heaven. And it is very difficult for the rich to enter the kingdom of God. You have to detach them and make them disrespect everything which gives them courage to affront us. I make reference to their mystic systems and their war fetish, war protection, which they pretend not to want to abandon. And you must do everything in your power to make it disappear. Your action will be directed essentially to the younger ones. And this was a letter written to the missionaries. This was a letter written to the missionaries. And what was going on is that, this was the missionaries being given a very, very special kind of a mission. And they were to that's difficult name, disadvantage the people and make them believe that, you can only, to detach them from any kind of a relation to material wealth and tell them that even though you're poor here on earth, it's better for you to be poor here on earth because religion has it that you shall be able to go and inherit your property in heaven. And therefore, even if I come up and take your own land and I come up and take your own everything else, you do not have to mind about that because this is just material world and it's there for a moment. It's just material world and it's there for a moment. So you should not really focus much more on it. Just focus on what you will get after this life, because after this life, you live a humble life. You should not fight back. When you're slapped, you should give the other, the other cheek and get slapped then again by still the Belgians. Do not worry about that, because at the end of the day, religion has a nice place for you, and this place is in heaven. You can get your resources in heaven, while as we take what we have to take right now. And that was even when King Leopold was discovering about the rubber in the Congo forest. If you go into the Congo forest, there is a lot of abundance of the trees that do produce a rubber. And what happened eventually is that with religion, the people's minds were conquered and people started getting converted by these missionaries. And people now started seeing these, the missionaries and the white people as their gods. Those were some of the some of the two agendas. One of the agenda was really to make people believe that, God is like this, he's a white man from this place and that place. And therefore, whatever orders you're given, you have to approach these orders with a lot of, you have to observe these orders strictly. And now, of course, I think you are Kevin Akoli for joining us. You say, morning, brothers. I'm morning to you too. I think you're up early. You guys are up early. What time is it, Kevin Coley in Florida? I think you're up early, or maybe you're getting ready to get to work. I do not know what time it is. but it's actually 20 minutes past 2 p.m. right here in Nairobi. And Sean Scott, thank you so much for joining us. You're saying good morning, Spect. Salute to the melanated family out there. I think Sean Scott is also up early. What's up? What's going on? What are you guys up to? I would just love to know. Or are you, doing a night shift? Or are you early to do some work in the night? Nonetheless, going on with the letter that was written, and the brainwashing that was meant to be attained with this letter. It says this was King Leopold writing to the missionaries in the interest of exploiting Congo and the people of Congo. This is what really he had to say, and he said, you have to detach from them and make them disrespect everything which gives them courage to affront us or fight back. I make reference to their mystic systems and their war fetish, war protection, because in some communities, they were very, very much aggressive in terms of protecting their own kingdoms, which they pretend not to want to abandon, and you must do everything in your power to make it disappear. Your action will be directed essentially to the younger ones, for they won't revolt when the recommendation of the priest is contradictory to their parents' teachings. And what was happening, William, is that young people were brought up and brainwashed, by these missionaries, and therefore, even if their parents were to say this is correct, and then the priest were to say this is wrong, then they would actually follow what was being said by the priest. And of course, this was eventual brainwash that is happening through the region. And of course, I went on to say the children will have to learn to obey what the missionary recommends, who is the father of their soul. You must singularly insist on their total submission and obedience. Like I was saying earlier, the religion was all about submission and obedience, and also pitching the view of the white man as God, and therefore anything else would be, in total submission. And the idea, patriots, some of the principles that you must apply, you'll find many other books which will be given to you at the end of this conference. Evangelize the niggers so that they stay forever in submission to the white colonialists, so they will never revolt against the restraints they are undergoing. Recite every day, happy are those who are weeping, because the kingdom of God is for them. Even when he was writing this, I believe even when King Leopold was writing this, you say now it's 6:21 a.m. Eastern time. Okay, thank you so much. Also, I see Kevin Colley says it's 6:22. So I guess you guys are up early, really trying to get ready to get to work or do some other different things right now. But I appreciate you taking the time to join us on the show. Your time and company is valued. It's never for granted. We are just getting to understand what is happening on the continent. Remember, this is a 54 corresponding show. And what has been happening on the continent is that in some countries, many people have departed from their own African spiritual systems, and they have decided to follow up the Europeans' religion. For example, if you go to Zambia, Zambia is the African nation in the southern part of Africa, which borders Zimbabwe, and Zambia is predominantly Christian. I believe about 85% or 90% of Zambia is a Christian is a Christian country. And if you go to other different, if you move from the southern part of Africa, you'll find these particular places being predominantly Christian. But our focus for today is really on Nigeria. In Nigeria, we do have the northern part of Nigeria being predominantly Islamic, and then the southern part of Nigeria being predominantly Christian, and these are mainly Protestants, and about 25% of this region also being Catholic. Kevin Colley is saying, I'm blessed to be part of something great. You are very, very much welcome. And I was reminding us that next year we purpose to make a trip and go back to Tanzania. Earlier on this year, we were with the Black Watchfire Network family, and we did have a wonderful tour to Tanzania. And I have also seen another brother. Really who is going out and discovering Africa day by day. He was recently in Ghana, and right now I believe he is also coming to Kenya. Let me share this briefly with us. He's a brother who has been on a tour. He's really trying to explore Africa and find out which places he might be able to settle in. Let me share this real briefly, and then we shall continue the conversation.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically correct.
Let me share these with us. I think he was in Ghana. He did not really like Ghana, but nonetheless, he is right now in Rwanda. He has also been in Rwanda. Let me share his video briefly, and then we shall continue with our conversation. His channel is known as Go Back to Africa. This is his channel. These are some of his experiences in Rwanda. We were also in Rwanda last year with the Black Hot Fire, and we purpose to go back some other time.
We are live, family. This is your man, not your boy. Go black to Africa. I even said that all wrong and different. Go black to Africa. Hey, yes. So I'm just want to give y'all a feel of here. I'm out here. Going to be meeting with the Unapologetic Nomads today, and they invited me over here to the restaurant Pilla, and so we're going to be having some great conversations. And before we meet, I'm just wanted to give y'all a feel of where I am, give y'all some views and all that right here. Pretty classy restaurant. I like this right here. They got a pool here, the bar and some good smelling music. Got the barbecuing up there going on a grill. Sand little beach area. It's pretty unique here, and it's not just another thing that we see how we do here in Africa. Yeah, hey, blessings and peace to you, my brother, and also to who's that? To my sister. Okay, Miranda, how you doing? Yeah, let us know where you all coming in from. Hey, Motion. I'm sorry, Motown investor. Yeah, okay, all right, yeah. I'm walking, so this camera's bouncing, so I'm not reading all that correctly. But yeah, as people start to come in, why don't you go ahead and announce yourself? I'm just gonna pan around here on this restaurant where I'm sitting out here on the hillside, and pretty unique place right here. Got a little beachfront, and stuff. And so it is like that, but I gotta be careful because, being out here, I know a guy, he just waved at me and told me not to point the camera his way. Sometimes, we might be doing things we ain't supposed to be or be with people we ain't supposed to be with. So I respect that. Not to say that he is, but hey, you never know. Good morning.
Of course, that is go black to Africa. That is the channel, and what is happening for him is that he has been going around the continent trying to figure out which particular country does he really like. He is in Rwanda, I believe, in right now. He's also, I believe, also coming down to Kenya, and of course, other different places he has been to is Ghana, and he has shared his different experiences in all these different countries. And of course, there are different opinions over this particular place. Sorry about that. There was a bit of an interruption right there, but nonetheless, I was telling us that the brother has had different experiences, and he also said that he doesn't feel as if he might be able to settle down in Ghana because he believes Ghana really is not the place for him. He has also been to other different parts. For example, Zambia. I haven't been to Zambia myself, but what I do believe is that different African nations, do really have different fields, You might not feel connected to the people of one particular country. You might just find yourself feeling much more attachment to another different place. But nonetheless, I do still believe that, you can explore different options. There are different options that you can explore and find out.
Starting out with any new project management software.
Sorry about that. And find out what's good for you or what place you would rather like to connect with. And of course, moving back from that, we hope that if time allows or leave opportunity, we find the opportunity, we shall be able to have a conversation with a brother when it comes to Nairobi. I'm not really sure if we are able to do, but if we get the opportunity, we are looking forward sometimes to being able to just have a conversation with the brother and knows and know what he has been up to. And nonetheless, Lucky One says, I'm about to slide. God bless the motherland. Thank you so much, Kevin Colley. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I hope that you do find prosperity in all your endeavors and whatever you choose to pursue today. And I'm wishing you a happy and productive day. And going back to our conversation, I was telling us about Nigeria and what is happening in Nigeria. Right now, as we are speaking, there has been the putting up. There is a putting up. Let me just call it. There is blacklisting. There is a blacklisting of Nigeria because of what has been said to be religious lack of religious tolerance. That is what it has been said, because there has been a case where we are hearing about different groups who worship different, being prosecuted in this particular country. And I also remember sometimes back I shared with us a story, and this particular story was involving the sentencing to prison of a young boy who is about 14 years, and he was being sentenced to prison because of blasphemy against Allah. And of course, right now, as it is, the US has added Nigeria to a list of countries for which Washington is especially concerned about their threats to religious freedom. The Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, didn't give the reasons for the decisions as he announced, but the State Department reported earlier this year, pointing out the mass detentions of members of the Nigerian Shia group and the arrest in one state of Muslims who are ignoring Ramadan fasting rules. The US list also includes China, Iran, Pakistan, Myanmar, North Korea, and Saudi Arabia. Countries on the list can face US sanctions if they fail to improve their records on religious freedoms. And what I was saying is that there are some countries which are known to be intolerant when it comes to matters of worship and freedom of worship. And I believe Nigeria might also be on the blink, especially the northern part of Nigeria. It might also be on the blink of becoming one of these nations that have been mentioned, where you cannot find people being able to worship well. Most Christians in Nigeria live in south and central Nigeria. That is why you'll find most Christians. But the northern part of Nigeria is really a Muslim, predominantly Muslim. And the largest Christian denominations of Nigeria are Roman Catholic Church, Baptist, and Pentecostals. The two largest affiliations among the Muslims in Nigeria are non-denomination Muslims and the Sunnis. In Nigeria, you'll find non-denominational Muslims and the Sunnis belonging to Maliki school of jurisprudence. However, a sizable amount of the minority also belongs to the Shafi madhab. Many Sunni Muslims are members of the Sufi Brotherhood, and most Sufis now follow the Qadriya, the Tijaniya, and the Mauride movement. And of course, a significant Shia minority also exists. We also do have the Shia Muslims existing in Nigeria. And now, of course, apart from that, we also do have the traditional spiritual system in Nigeria. Let me share these with us briefly. Let me share this briefly with us so you can have an understanding of the different religions in Nigeria and how they are also practiced, whether be it by the Yoruba, or whether be it by the Igbo. These are some of the religions. You will also find the traditional system, the traditional spiritual systems. That is how I would call them. In Nigeria, you'll have a little bit of understanding of how they work and what they are all about. This is a Yoruba religion.
I'm in western Nigeria, the heart of the Yoruban people, where every summer thousands of people gather in this sacred grove in the town of Ashogbu.
With 100 million worshippers, this is one of the world's 10 largest religions.
We pray with singing, we pray with love, we pray with dancing and having fun.
Carried to the New World by slaves, the faith is experiencing a renaissance among their descendants.
Although we left Africa, Africa never left us.
But when they come back here, what will they find? And what will they feel?
I'm scared, I'm excited, I'm overwhelmed, but I'm here.
Lagos is Nigeria's biggest city, the heart of the Yoruba people. Alafia Stewart and Oni Ibiye Hinton are Americans in Africa for the first time. Raised in the Orisha tradition, they're here to be initiated as priestesses. The initiation will last 3 days and involve prayer, head shaving, and animal sacrifice. Recent college graduates, Alafia and Oni are enthusiastic, but also wary. Among the priests here is Lloyd Weaver, an American who's lived in Nigeria for the past 30 years.
The traditional religion of Yoruba people is very similar to Christianity in that it worships one God. In Christianity, there's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And they are three aspects of one God. Yoruba traditional religion, you have the same thing except there's 401 aspects of one single God. These aspects of God are called Orisha.
Alafia and Oni have been in seclusion for several days, in the most private, sacred part of the ceremony. Only initiated priests are allowed to attend.
I've given my hair to the Orisha for new blessings. When my hair was cut, it was symbolizing all of the negative that's happened before going away so that everything that's new will grow stronger, be more blessed, and have more ashe.
The final part of the ritual is a public celebration. Alafia and Oni's American friends assemble to witness their induction. As in many religions around the world, the holiest moments of Orisha worship pay homage to the gods with animal sacrifice.
I think of it as being no different than kosher meat. It's been prayed over, and the fact that that animal has given its life for my life and given its life for me to be uplifted, I'm so thankful to these animals and for what they've done for me.
Religion is foretelling the future. The divination is performed by priests who use natural objects to interpret a series of texts called Ifa.
Ifa is the central scripture of the Yoruba people. It's about 4 times as big as the Holy Bible.
Ifa includes the sacred text, but it also includes history, genealogy, study of herbal medicines. It has elements of psychology. So this is why we call it an encyclopedia of Yoruba knowledge.
The priest identifies a passage of Ifa that might help the worshiper. The process is like tarot or I Ching, or any encounter where a priest offers guidance to a person in need.
Now you've got your Ifa, here you have all the power in the world.
In Yoruba culture, music and dance are direct pathways that connect the physical world with the godly world. The dance kicks off the ultimate stage of Alafia and Oni's initiation. In the climactic moment, the essence of the goddess is transferred through a crown into the head of each priestess.
What makes a priest is your body becomes a temple of the Orisha, and that Orisha resides within you.
This has been my way to encounter who I'm supposed to be, to make sure that the path of destiny that I walk on is the path that I'm supposed to be on.
I didn't know who I was until this process. I had an idea, but I wasn't solid. I'm still growing. I'm 26. I'm still trying to figure my life out. But this has definitely given me direction and solidified who I want to be, and I'm taking conscious steps towards that. I'm becoming myself. I'm becoming the person that I want to be.
That is a little bit of what is going on with that. And of course, that is a Yoruba. And apart from the Yoruba, we also do have the Igbo. We also do have the Igbo, and this is their ceremony as well.
But you have to understand, Spike. Hold on, Spike. Pause that for a second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go on.
But you have to understand, those are different cuts in time and distance on a Kemetic religion or Kemetic practices. It has evolved. It has evolved because now they do what? Animal sacrifice. You sacrifice anything, you're not. That's how it's evolved. When you're dealing with blood and see, that's how you get the religion with the Catholic Church. And we say Christians, like that's what a Catholic is. A Christian Catholics are your first Christian church, your first Christian establishment. Those other ones are just different denominations of Catholicism. You talking about Baptist, Pentecostal, those are Protestant. When the English, the only reason why you got different churches that are not Catholic is because before they came to Africa, they the kings of Europe wanted to break away from Catholicism because that's where all the power was. They want to be told what to do by the Pope, and so they made their own groupie. They made their own groupie versions of Christianity. That's how you get your That's how you get your different denominations. The sad thing that the African doesn't know all this stuff. That's just like how am I here? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Hallelujah. Spike, come on back. This is your show. The African doesn't even know that you're talking about one is Catholic, one is Christian. The Catholic is a Christian. That's what it is. So you understand that's just a different cut. Religion has evolved. When you sacrificing anything, religion has devolved into lunacy. You don't supposed to sacrifice anything. And all these religions, as they got degraded, we go to sleep, we start sacrificing. Any kind of sacrifice of anything, anti-God, but you can't tell nobody that. The same thing with the blood and the church shit. You start sacrificing animals, and then it became humans. You can't sacrifice anything to the true all. What can it true all is not even a spirit. And when you start doing that, it means the religion's already devolved into lunacy. It means you've lost your traditions because of so much space and time they went to sleep. All those African traditions turned into what? Blood sacrifice. They were wrong. I don't care, like we showed yesterday. We gotta see that video again. I don't care if they were in the Mayan culture, which is African, Aztec culture is African, and as that video want to share with you guys, all those cultures of Africa, they all went through what? Devolution. They start devolving. Anything with any kind of animal sacrificing and shit is devolving. Losing any kind of blood is devolving. So it's not any pure form of African traditions because you've gone to sleep. Because you started sacrificing shit. You can't sacrifice anything to the all that has it's everything. It creates everything, so it doesn't need any sacrifices. I mean, any sacrifice of any animal, you got to kill anything, is evil. We devolve so much we don't know that. You can't sacrifice anything to a being that's everything. When we lost that aspect, it means the religious practices have devolved. So it was Spike to bring his ass back up in here. What's going on, Big Cheese? What's going on, Sean? What's going on, Mumphrey Danford? If you guys can hear me, maybe it's me messed up early this morning. I don't know what happened. I don't know what the hell is like. Big Cheese, you still in California, man? Big Cheese, you still in California? Yes, ma'am. Yes, let me know if you guys can hear me now. I'd like to come back up in here. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Nah, don't say that, Big Cheese. You went all the way out to LA and you guys flew out in 2 days? Nah, man. You went all the way out there on the train to California, and California's locking everything back down because of that COVID shit. I guess you got it right in time, shit. They're locking everything down because of that COVID bullshit. Oh, Big Cheese, I knew you go out there, no damn 2 days you was arguing with the woman. Yo, this fucking engine, what happened, man? What happened, bro? Shit. Take that long ass train ride all the way out to LA and ship to Chicago. Was she crazy? Was she talking crazy to you or something? Yeah, we want to know. Was she talking crazy to you, Big Cheese? Business, chick. I'm out. You do you. I'll see you when I see you. I'm out. Take my ass back to Chicago. I don't got time for this shit. No, we out to the damn LA states. I believe in traveling for a woman, but god damn. Long ass train ride to LA. I don't know. It might have been fun. It might have been better just going on the ride because at least you got to see a lot of the countryside. That might have been the most interesting shit. You know, if that's your first time to LA, that might have been the most fun thing, just seeing the countryside of the United States, whatever. Okay, I should know years ago. Okay. Yeah, what's going on, Mumpy Danford? What's going on, Mumpy? Yeah, okay, so you knew her years ago. Is she okay? So So did you know her in Chicago, or were you out in LA years ago? Or did she move? Did she move from Chi-Town, from the Chi all the way out to the LA? And then if she's gonna bring up that old shit about you cheating on her, hey, listen here, man. That's years ago type shit. That's years ago. I wouldn't be coming out here to see you at this time and distance during a fake pandemic, girl, if I didn't, you know, want to change my ways or something like that. Yeah, train ride was probably fun, yeah. Like I said, I ain't been on a train ride in years. Shit. I ain't been on a train ride, man. I'm like, who takes the train? Shit. In America, you know, other countries, the train is normal. But in America, the train is not really that. People don't take the train that much in America. And shit, last time I took a train was DC to New York. That was over 25 years ago. Last time I took a train was I took Amtrak from DC to New York. Yeah, that could be the funnest part of the trip, you know, checking out the scenery, chilling on the train. You know, when you go to other countries and realize America's train system is fucked up. That just spikes you back.
Yeah, I'm back though. You're having a bit of a hit, but I'm back.
Okay, back. Like I was saying, the spike. Understand how things evolve. Africans are now doing, and all Africans have. It's the same spiritual system, but it's evolved because we go to sleep. It's all based on Kemet. That's why it's the same. It's 400 aspects of that same God. All that shit. A lot of those, like I said, a lot of those people when they left, when they got invaded, they're in Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya. But it's a devolution of the actual practices because we go to sleep. When you start sacrificing anything, you know the religion has devolved. There's practices. Because the all doesn't need any sacrifice. You killing anything is actually against the all. The all is everything. It's in everything. When you got to kill something and sacrifice it, it means it's devolved. And if you look at the Africans as it's devolved from the Incas, from the Mayans, who were the black people, they call it the black people that were all over the planet. They start using human sacrificing. That means they were devolving. They said we're sacrificing things to the gods. You can't give God anything that it doesn't have. So you can't sacrifice anything to the all. I'd like to say the creator of all, not God, that came from the European. You can't sacrifice anything to the creator of all. It's everything. The chicken is also the all. You can't sacrifice. Uh-oh. It is like...
No, that's a Bombay.
Yo, greetings, guys.
Is that Mumpy Dapper?
Yeah, greetings
hey,
to
what's
you
going
too.
on, Mumpy?
Yeah, Keith, what's good?
In Ethiopia, right?
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Everything is good, Mr. Black on Fire.
All right, I'm glad everything's good for you, brother. Because you know Ethiopia is in turmoil right now. I want you to be safe. Want you to be safe out there.
That's true. You know, but it's not that bad out here.
All right, cool. Good.
Yeah. It's not that bad.
Hey, Spike,
I was telling a Bombi Dampa, if we actually have that particular trip to Tanzania, he's welcome to join us next year in March. I hope everything goes on well, and I hope that
Yeah,
we
hopefully, like,
we
we'll
are able
definitely
to
meet up.
yeah, I
We'll
hope you're
definitely
able
meet
to
up like
help
in
us.
Tanzania. Hopefully, you know, like I might.
Yeah,
I'm planning like to do my university there too. So
that would
yeah,
be
yeah,
nice. Is it
that
in the
could be a link up
University of Dar
also.
es Salaam? Are you hoping to join the University of Dar es Salaam?
I think it's Kampala International University.
Okay.
Oh, Kampala. Are you talking about Uganda or Tanzania?
No. There's a university in Tanzania called Kampala International
Kampala.
University.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Oh,
It is.
okay.
Right there.
Okay.
It
I
is.
thought I had that mixed up. Big T's is telling us that he had a trip to LA and things did not really go well for him. I think the lady who was acting
Yeah.
up, the lady loves to argue.
Yeah, the lady told Big T to get it. The lady told Big T to get his shit and get out. Get your ass out of here.
I was looking at the map. I was looking at the map from Chicago all the way to LA. It's thousands. It's
Long way.
very, very far. It's very, very far away.
Yeah,
And,
I told you the long way. Yeah, it's like it's like 1,400 damn miles. So whatever you call that in kilometers, I don't know. Yeah, it's a long damn way. And he was on a train. He didn't fly. He took a train. Shit. One thing about America, we got terrible trains. Our trains suck. Like when you go to Europe, America's trains suck.
I remember last year. I remember last year Zoe also took the same kind of a trip. I think Zoe left Colorado, and I think he went all the way down to Florida to meet some lady. I don't know how that. I don't know how that
he
worked.
Flew. He didn't take no train. He flew. Zoe flew. I've been talking to Zoe again. I got to get Zoe back on the show. I was talking to Zoe a day ago. I'm gonna bring Zoe back on the show. Back on the shows again. I was talking to Zoe a day ago. Now he flew there and Zoe ain't taking no train. So flew down to Orlando, which is like a 1,000 something miles. But the train is good because if you ever seen the country, the train is good. But American trains, my God, American trains are behind the time. Because American train, it ain't like a train in Europe. It's different. American, since everybody drives in America, so nobody really takes the train. So the trains have been neglected. You take the train in America, feel like you're stepping back fucking 50 years in time. You're like, damn. You go to Europe, you go to Europe and Asia, you're like, God damn, this is a train here, shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying Big T says the train ride was 100 times better than being with a young lady. Anyway, going back to the topic,
but at least you guys have better train rides.
So go on.
Yeah, well,
like I'm saying,
better than Africa.
You guys have better train rides.
But it's better than Africa. Africa has been African trains are still really, really behind on purpose because of the Europeans. Europeans never wanted to develop Africa. But when you go to Asia and Europe, they're the ones with those great bullet trains, right? You know, our trains are like African trains. They're just okay. They're not really that. They're okay. There's no great trains in Africa. They're just okay. I'm not talking about inside the city. Inside this like a subway system. Like America has great subway systems.
Yeah.
You know, I don't consider those trains like in a city like New York or Chicago or Washington D.C. or Miami or L.A. We got great city trains, which you would call subways. I'm talking about the long distance trains, like from one city to the next city. Those trains suck. But inside the city, yeah, you got good. Go ahead.
I'm saying South Africa has, I think that the railway and the trains in South Africa are not so bad, as well as in Ethiopia. The Ethiopians are also investing in their trains, and I think they're not badly off.
Ethiopia, like, it's not that bad, but then like it's super congested. It's too congested, like in that place. Like you can't even breathe. Like too many people, you know.
Wow, see.
Just like too many damn people.
It's like
Yeah,
the
that's the
same thing,
problem.
Mumphrey Dampin. Hey, Mumphrey Dampin. It's like the same thing you get in Kenya, Western Kenya, when you got 1,000 people on one bus. People riding on the top of the bus, on the side of the bus, and the wheels and the tires are flat. What kind of bus ride is this?
Same thing here. The same thing here.
That's the situation. Anyway, going back to our topic. I was asking, what are your thoughts about Dampa?
Forget the topic. Forget the topic. We're together having fun. We're talking to Mumpy and Big Cheese. Don't worry about the topic. But go ahead.
No, I wanted to know. We shall go back in the conversation. I just wanted to know about his opinion on the spiritual systems in West Africa. I think some of them, like Kido was saying, most of them have actually deteriorated, and they have moved from the main thing, and they have now gone into being corrupt. I can call them corrupt.
They don't know that. They don't know that they're exactly right, but they don't know that they have deteriorated. And Mumpy grew up in Islam. He doesn't know the African system. Remember, he told you in the chat room, he was told that these people are evil. he told his spiritual systems of African are evil. So he wouldn't know. He didn't converse in those systems. And just like me growing up, I was told those systems are evil. They scared the shit out of me too. Hey, that voodoo is evil. I said, hey, man, don't get away from me with that African shit.
But then kids.
Go ahead. I'm gonna see
what was my question again? Like I forgot my question.
You'll find it.
It will come back to me. It will come back to me. Like it will come back.
Yeah. It'll come back.
It's okay, no rush. For me, I want to share a little bit of a video from the Igbo, and I shared a little bit of video from the Yoruba. Let me share this briefly.
Yeah. Sorry, Spike. Sorry.
Before you get to remember your question, let me share this from the Igbo as well. I don't know if the audio might be good. We're having a bit of a...
But look, I want you to be able to look, Spike. Look with your third eye. Look with your African mind. Get away from the tribal nonsense. Look, and you'll see the same similarity as the Igbo have with the Yoruba. Slight differences. Because as we separate it, of course, we put a different flavor on it. That's how language does. That's why Arabic can be spoken differently in every region throughout the world. Just like English will be spoken differently throughout every region of the world. So as Africans started to devolve an understanding of the spirituality, it takes on different forms, but it's still the same religion. And they never called it religion. It was science. But go ahead and play it, Spike.
Let me play these as well. There are two clips I want to share with us. Then we shall.
That date back hundreds of years. Today, we'll be looking at a brief overview of religion in Nigeria, as well as the traditional Igbo religion and how.
I hope some people looked at that video yesterday. I want to share it today.
Nigeria, the dominant religion. Minorities celebrating indigenous religions such as Odinani, the traditional religion of the Igbo people. In the Igbo community, the dominant religion is Christianity, with the second being Odinani. However, most people in the Igbo community who practice Christianity also incorporate a syncretic blend of traditional Odinani celebrations with their more modern Christian practices. Odinani is interesting in that it has qualities of both monotheistic and polytheistic religions. The Odinani religion is centered around one supreme god, Chukwu, who is believed to be the supreme god and the creator of all. However, the Odinani also contains a pantheon of smaller lesser gods called Alusi. Alusi are believed to be a part of Chukwu and represent natural forces.
Exactly.
These
Same thing as Yoruba, a pantheon of gods.
Communicate through.
There's not a bunch of gods. Those are aspects of the one God. Same thing in Kemet.
Also worshipped the Egwugwu, mask-wearing elders of their villages, who were seen as ancestral gods. Traditionally, the Egwugwu were believed to have great power and served as judges within the Igbo villages. Today, the masks of the Egwugwu are used in a much more lighthearted way. They are worn during Igbo festivals and celebrations, less as a sign of power amongst the community, but more as a reminder and a celebration of traditional Igbo culture and independence. A long-lasting cultural and religious tradition of the Igbo people is the breaking of the kola nuts. To present someone and share kola nuts is a great sign of respect and hospitality in traditional Igbo culture. Because the kola nut is also a symbol of revitalization, the person who breaks the nut is honoring their chief, which are personal gods.
Let me see if I can load as I continue loading the video.
Let me see. Okay.
The Igbos are known
Briefly, let me share the Igbo as well.
as a set of people living chiefly in southeastern Nigeria who speak Igbo as their language. Before European colonization, the Igbo were not united as a single people, but lived in autonomous local communities. Most Igbo traditionally have been subsistence farmers, their staples being yams, cassava, and taro. The other crops they grow include corn, that is maize, melons, okra, pumpkins, and beans. Among those still engaged in agriculture, men are chiefly responsible for yam cultivation, women for other crops.
Anyhow, these are the Igbo people who, of course, are in existence long before the Adam story. And when you go back to the root, yeah. Sorry,
Let's
go
see
on.
if Muffy remember this question. Also, put this up, Spike. Put this up because you left yesterday. You in the internet messed everything. Put this up. What year did the Moors? Ask Google. Say what years did the Moors invade the Sun God Empire? What years did the Moors invade the Sun God Empire? What year? The Sun God. What year did the Moors invade the Sun God and destroy the empire? I want to say it was like 1570 something. I can't remember. It's the 1500s.
They say from the Google results, they are saying that was in 1591. That is the year
okay,
when
1591. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. But the Moors come. Yeah, yeah, because the Moors lost in Europe. They were expelled from Europe, burned off in Europe, and so they turned in on Africa and started collapsing the African kingdom. Because at that time they were still more powerful than the majority of African kingdom. They were still more powerful than the African kingdom, and the Moors went to destroy the African kingdom, and it made the Europeans able to come in and colonize us. But that just they would be the Moors will sell out. So I wonder let Muffy Dapper know that's his lineage. His lineage could have been his lineage.
Now I got
Son
mixed
Gay
feelings
and
about the
also
Moors
the
now.
Moors. He's both of them.
I have mixed feelings about them now.
Okay, of course. I told you there's mixed feelings, Muffy. There's mixed feelings. They're still great people. But understand, look, we go to sleep. We go to sleep, Muffy. We go to sleep as a people. So the Moors, when they were sacking the African empires, they wasn't as smart. They were going to sleep. They were more diverse. What we do now, we were more fighting each other. They were more tribalistic by that time. And all these silly tribes we got today. The further you go back in history, we didn't have tribes. That's why I got to show everybody that video. Spike left that video yesterday. I put the picture of the African people. You didn't practice tribalism. The further you go back, you knew you were what people. You were out there conquering the world and building all these monoliths. And you were the great scientists on the planet. That's way before Islam, way before Christianity. Those religions didn't even exist. Thousands of years before that. So I'm just saying, the Moors were really your last brilliant African empires. They were brilliant. They were your last really geniuses. But they were going to sleep too. They knew they were going to sleep, Mumpy. So I lost Mumpy. Go ahead.
No, I was asking because from what I see, well, did the Moors include the Fulani people and the Tuareg, or are the Moors really different?
I told you that. I told you the Moors include the Fulani people. I told you that. I said the Fulanis and the other tribes that are in Senegal. Include the Fulani people and some other smaller tribes because they broke down the other tribes. I don't know all the damn tribes.
I didn't know. They're saying the Tuareg. And they call the Tuareg. The Tuareg. The Tuareg.
Okay, the Tuareg. Okay, the Tuareg. That's out of Senegal. The Tuareg. They became the Tuareg people, but they wouldn't call that then. They would call the Almoravans and the Almoravans and the Aldi something. I can't remember all the name of the tribes, but they were a bigger tribe group. As we got what more stupider, they start breaking down all these other different groupie tribes, arguing and fighting. That's how they lost Europe. The reason why they lost Europe, they started what? Fighting amongst each other. All the kingdoms started becoming one big kingdom that became like 20 kingdoms in Spain. So the white man could take them on. That's how you got. It was no Portugal. Portugal was part of the Moorish Empire. The Moors lost. When the Moors lost, that became Portugal. And then finally they lost Spain. I think that's Mumpy Dapper. Let him back in. I think that's Mumpy.
Let me see if I can. Let me add him back in.
Yeah.
From what I see, they're even the Fulani in Ethiopia as well. The border of Ethiopia, they say they also have the Fulani.
The Fulani are separate. Yes, the Fulani. Ethiopia, the Fulani are even in Arabia right now, Saudi Arabia.
Oh.
But these are just names. You had the Fulani, the Turok, whatever. But they became that afterwards, after they evolved. See, they start fighting. The Moors start fighting each other. And they start breaking off into other more groupie tribes. I'm trying to tell you the story of Africa. Africans started fighting amongst each other. That's how. Go ahead, Mumpy.
One question, right? How do we split into these tribes? Like how do we become Mandinkas, Igbo, Yorubas? Like, I still don't get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. It's hard because we start fighting, Mumpy. That's what we start going to sleep, right? We start giving up. We start becoming less intelligent because we move away from our second son. And so we start fighting. Okay, me and your brother, Mumpy, right? Me and your brother, and we have an argument, a quarrel. You say, keep down like that. I say, well, Mumpy, damn you, Mumpy. I don't care what the hell you talk about. So I take 30 people and I go 40 miles down the road and I name my people a different name. You name your people a different name. That's how Africans are having all these tribes, and the fighting started happening because we have arguments, and then we say like that's why I hate when Spike and Cammy they do this. They said the Igbo people, these people, these are not people. I hate when you said I'm part of the Kissy community, the Kissy people, the whatever those became little bitty offshoots of the whole. We start arguing. And that's what happened to the Moorish Empire. They start fighting. They became different tribes. They start fighting. That's why they lost Europe. They start fighting. When they go into Europe, the one big Moorish power coming out of Senegal and Gambia. So they go and invade and all that area around West Africa. So they go because there was no Gambia, there was no Senegal then. It was just all Africa. There was no border.
There was no Gambia, no Guinea-Bissau, no nothing.
Yeah, exactly. It was none of that. Just African people, So they moved into Europe and start educating Europe. And then through so many years, they were up there like 1,000 years. They start fighting. They start fighting and arguing and shit after they rose the European. They knew it. They knew they were going to go to sleep. They knew the science. The Moors, the people were geniuses. So they knew they were going to sleep. They knew that the real science of the earth. They said, man, we're going to go to sleep. We're going to lose the empire. Let's teach these white people. And so without the Moors, the European would never rule the planet. Because the Moors taught them everything. Taught them how to read and write. Brought universities, taught them how to wash their ass. Because they were dying of plagues up there. Spikes, do this for me. The plagues in Europe before the Moors arrived, because the Moors showed them how to clean their body, because they were dying off then. They were full of plague. They were filthy. They didn't know how to eat. They didn't know how to change their clothes.
Yeah.
That came from the Africans.
The Black Death.
That
Yeah.
came from the
That was what
Moors.
the thing was called. The Black Death.
Yeah, they came from you. Yeah, exactly. That's the Black Death is after. That's one of the last plague. You had another plague when the Moors first got there. I've got no. Say, Spike, call, say what was the year of Justinian's plague? Justinian. He was the leader of Byzantium then. That's when Kemet fell. Eventually, finally fell. They said, "You're all going to be Christians. We're going to kill everybody."
I cannot get the spelling. I didn't know the spelling. Saying who?
The Justinian. Justin. Justinian. So Tinian. Justinian.
Okay, found it.
Because the guy name was.
Yeah, the plague over Justinian. From the results I see, the plague over Justinian or Justiniac plague was in
Yes, Mike.
5. I was in
okay,
5.
Cool. So that plague was still going on. The Moors go in there and clean that up. The Africans, you talking about the Africans go in there from Senegal, Gambia, Guinea, all that region. They go into Europe and start teaching the European how to hygiene itself. And they believe since we were devolving, European comes back like he's teaching you something. He can't teach you a goddamn thing. That all came from you. Shit, the universities came from you. He can't teach you shit. He lied because you go to sleep. You didn't know all this, all your own history. You start fighting amongst each other. At the end, the Africans are up there for 1,000 years almost, teaching, building colleges, building baths. Okay, do this, Spike. This, Spike. Put up the images of the Moorish bathhouses of Europe. Say Moorish images of the Moorish bath, because the Moors, the Africans built so many bathhouses because they had to stop these plagues. Because the European was nasty, dirty, and funky. Say images of the Moorish bathhouses in Europe. That's a fact. Look, you'll see. You think they still there today? They're still there today. They don't use them, but because they're there.
Are you saying images of the Moorish houses? The Moorish houses?
No, bathhouses. Bath. Images of the Moorish bathhouses in Europe. Exactly. Images of the Moorish baths. Take a bath. Bathhouses in Europe. They built so many bathhouses because they were cleaning up the Justinian plague. So so make that.
That was how dirty they were.
Enlarge.
They was.
Go ahead, Mumpy.
No, like I'm saying, like they were so dirty and so ugh.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Just pure filth.
So there you go, Spike. Those are those dirt. I see Spike's learning something now. Spike's laughing. Spike thought they taught his ass something. Spike's learning his own history right now. Exactly. Them bathhouses. Spike's laughing and shit. He come teach you something. No, those bathhouses because they were so filthy and so dirty. So what they did, they implemented them bathhouses, teach them how to wash their ass. They said, listen, you people got to wash your body. You're funky. You're dirty. You're filthy. That's why you're full of disease. And these are facts of history that you don't know because when we fell asleep, the European cut up all your history, said it came from him. Did nothing come from him. That's why we got to play that video, Spike, that I sent you. You got to know everything came from you. And then you start devolving in science and knowledge, and all your customs start devolving, cutting up chickens and blood and all that goofy shit. That's the devil. That's the African Moors didn't cut up any chickens and all that shit. They were still high science. You think somebody built all that shit right there was cutting up chickens and shit? The Moors are high scientists. All those Moorish kingdoms, all those Moorish. Do this, Mike. Pull up images of Moorish castles in Europe. Images of Moorish castles all throughout Europe. You think the Moors would evolve at that time in these goofy spiritual systems? No. They still knew their real science. They started devolving, yes, but at that time they still knew. They knew the real laws of the universe. Yeah, so just click on one of them. You think somebody right there didn't know what the hell was going on in the world? You're talking about African geniuses, more smarter then than we are today. The genius, the Moors are fucking geniuses.
Yeah,
High
that's
science.
true. And then there's a word in Mandinka called Moro. There's a word in Mandinka called Moro, and it means intelligent one. It means intelligent one, Moro.
Yes,
that's what it means. Somebody who is.
It means learned one. Yes, that. Yes, that lets you go. Let you know the language connects back to the people more. That meant smart everywhere. The English more meant smart. The Latin more they always goes back to those African. It means the African learned person because they were geniuses. Moors were geniuses. Now at the end they go to sleep. I understand it. People get mad. Yeah, did the Moors help enslave Africans? Their own people, yes. But you got to understand the science. They knew we go to sleep. We're stupid. That's why we're so many tribes. That's why they're still fighting in Africa today. We didn't fight each other. We didn't hate each other. We knew we were one people. I don't hate Muppy. I don't care what tribe. Muppy may be a Mandinka. Somebody. Okay, I don't give a shit about that. I know that's some new tribe. I know we brothers. I know my history.
Like it's all new.
So the Africans going to come back together. Yeah, the Africans going to come back together again.
And I was wondering when you're talking about
together, he don't know he's not a tribe. That's what's happening now. Hey, the children are starting to say, "Hey, man, we don't need all this tribal shit." Go ahead, Mike.
I was saying now when I checked up about the Moors and I was talking about the Fulani, I saw that the Fulani are not really Bantus. The Fulani, they say, let me just pause these once again. Fulani Bantu.
That's what the European said. You got. That's what the European said. You know that's not true. So you know the Fulani are in Nigeria, right? The Nigerians are Bantu people.
Yes,
so
they are.
Understand that's the European trying to divide and conquer, right? Not true. That's what the European is doing. You got to use discernment, Spike. You got to know discernment and how the European he classifies things. That means that gives them what power. If I can name who you are, Spike, I got power over you. You've accepted now my religions of Islam, the Christianity, because that gives me power. Not true. They are Bantu people. That's why I told you go to the genetics. I ain't gotta listen to the white man tell me what a Bantu is. I go to the genetics. The Fulani E1B1A, just like the people in Kenya, people in goddamn South Africa, E1B1A, with slight variations because maybe they got some Portuguese raped by some white people or some white Arabs or some shit. But the genetics shows me what the fuck they are. I don't let white people tell me that's white. Oh, well, you know, these people are not really Bantu people. They're other people. That's what white people tell you. It's a lie.
I still believe in things that white people say. Yeah.
Go ahead, mommy. What you say?
Like I said, I stopped believing stuff white people tell me. They're liars.
Yeah.
They never say the truth. So
That's true. But they lie for their own power. They lied for their own power. That's why they erased your history. We're just white people. We just became smart. How did you become smart when you was dirty? You know how to take a bath. You know how to read it right. How did you just become smart? They said, because they make you study their history, right? They said there's a renaissance. This was the enlightening. It was the Renaissance. And it's funny, it's the Renaissance happened right when the Moors are in Europe teaching your ass. That's the Renaissance. White people just became smart by themselves. It's a lot.
I see Zero Mosquito is with us. Zero Mosquito, you're asking where you can get the bathhouses in London. Yes, they are still there. We also still have the bathhouse in London.
We're not talking. Muppy Dad was trying to be funny. Muppy, Mosquito trying to be funny. He's talking about the bathhouses with the homosexuals and shit. Not that kind of bathhouse, damn, Mosquito.
But I think the Europeans converted. I I think that the Europeans converted these bathhouses and started using them for those purposes, you know, for those homosexual.
Of course they did. That's their nature. You think that? Of course they did, Spike. That's their nature. That's who they are. Yes. Of course you got the homosexual shit. That's not what the African built them for. Of course the Europeans using them there to do all kind of homosexual practices.
Yes.
He's like, oh man, there's water. Get me another man. I won't even fuck around. I won't even mess with an old Moorish bathhouse today. Man, you want to go check out the Moorish bathhouse? Nah, I'm cool. I'm good.
You know them, they're the same ones who will be lining up to go, you know, to go have sex with an orangutan. You know, they're the same one.
Oh, orangutan, yeah.
That really freaked me out. It's like these people really do this. Like they, you know, practice having sex with animals. That's so weird.
Yeah, they were paying. They were lining up and paying. They were lining up and paying to go have sex with orangutan. Anyway, what is happening in Nigeria? I believe people should start waking up.
Hold on, Spike. That's not Bush. Hold on, Spike. Yeah. Would you ever think in your mind to have sex with an orangutan? Ever?
No, but never, ever. But
never. No way. No way.
That's what they do. They even pay to have sex with a fucking orangutan in Europe. Like, so check this. So they told you it's a lie. They told you that an African man, because AIDS comes from animals, even though it's made in America, it's a lab to kill off Africa. But the story they told you, the African man fucked the gorilla in the Congo. Do you believe any African man had sex with a gorilla in the Congo?
No, they have.
That's a lie.
They don't have, because even if you have to ask yourself a question, they have been coexisting with those gorillas and monkeys, and none of that has happened before. Why
exactly?
Would
true.
In 1980.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So an African man fucked the goddamn gorilla, and then he spread AIDS all throughout Africa. You out of your mind? You believe what that white, just like Muffy Danford said, that's a goddamn lie the white man told you. First United States, you ain't never seen no black people unless he's insane have sex with no animals. That's what they do. That's how you got syphilis, gonorrhea. That came from them having sex with animals. That's a fact. And well, the African had sex with an animal, you fucked the gorilla, and that's how you got AIDS. African ain't, you ain't never seen no African fuck no fucking beast. You got your rabbit ass mind. No African has sex, and you got brothels. You can put it, like, put it up since we here. Pull up the animal brothels in Europe. Pull that up. This say animal brothels in Europe. They pay to go fuck horses, orangutans, dogs.
Imagine.
And you talk about they're better than you. You know, and they gave you the God. These the same people gave you Islam.
Yeah,
they still fuck animals. They still fuck animals in Saudi Arabia. The white man does. The white Arab. In Afghanistan, they fuck animals. I've been all over the damn world.
We're like worshiping these devils, man. It's like, ugh.
And since we're gone to sleep, and we were told, yeah, white is great, and all that other crazy shit. So, pull that up, like animal brothels. BROTHEL. You didn't even know that shit existed when you grew like, what? Animal brothels? Somebody's paying to rape because an animal can't give consent. That means they're paying to rape an animal. Animal can't say it wants to make love to you. They're raping an animal. You got animal rape. But where you at, Spike? You find it?
What
animal brothels in Europe. Okay, go ahead.
Let me share these what I found out, because some of them are, you know, sleeping with sheep, others with dogs, others with horses, others with all types of shit. These are them on the right.
But look, but now that you're waking up, they're trying to outlaw it, because now you're starting to know these white people are never better than you, never. Because you're waking up again. Your Africans starting to wake up. How the fuck are we worshiping these people? Each old white is better, and they still fucking animals. They still, I think they just stopped it in Germany. They made it legal. It's still in the Netherlands and other countries, but it was all legal throughout Europe and America, because that's where the Europeans at. From Australia, everywhere you found white people, they fucking animals.
Yeah,
Like
they
when I
say.
told you to pull up that thing about what did they fight?
No, I'm saying in Germany, the German newspaper, this is the article. The German newspaper says animal brothels are on a rise as bestiality becomes a
On the rise
lifestyle.
again, see? On the rise again. And they marrying them animals, Spike. They get to marry the dog. They get to marry them. They say, well, fuck it, we want to marry the animal now. Because I told you they were created from animals by the Africans. See, but you don't know your history. You think that's strange and crazy. We call up it all fake religions, the Islam, the Christianity. Those are lies. Your Africans told you they created these motherfuckers from animals. That's why they have sex with animals. But all that history, they know that shit. They stole all that information out of Africa, and the Moors knew it. The Moors said we got to civilize this beast. They knew he was created from animals. They knew all that shit. So you they still, you said animal brothels are on the rise. but you can't put that in Africa. Spike say animal brothels are on the rise in Africa.
No way, no way.
Exactly, Mama. That said no way, no way, no way. But these are your guys, and I want you to know the white Arabia, who's not a damn Arab, the motherfuckers who run Saudi Arabia, who's over that religion today, are the same motherfuckers in behind the scenes are fucking all kind of goats, lambs, sheep, all kind of wicked shit.
I think
that's true. That's true. That's true.
They're the ones having sex with children and shit.
Yeah, that's true because the Prophet Muhammad, he had a 9-year-old wife.
Yeah.
His wife was 9 years old. His third wife was 9 years old.
Yeah, 9 years old. That's normal. You to be a pedophile. Because that was the culture, right? That's even though he never existed, another make-believe cartoon character, they get mad and tell you, there's no proof that he ever existed. Of course he didn't. That came from the Catholic Church because they couldn't get the black people, then the other white people down there who were invading to accept the Christian faith. Remember, they burned everything down in Kemet. Go ahead.
Sorry, but then why do they say that his grave is in Medina, Saudi Arabia?
I don't know why they say it. They probably dig it up. I bet it ain't no fuck. I bet they dig it up. They won't let you touch it. I bet if you dig that shit up, probably some bones from 120 years ago. Remember, the Quran is ain't a book. Put this up, Spike, because we go through real history. The Quran was written by the French, the Jewish, the ones they say they hate, right? It was the Jewish French that wrote the Quran.
Wow.
Put this up, Spike. Yeah, exactly. Let's get some real history. Spike, put us up. Say the Jewish French that wrote the Quran. Put that up, Spike. Ask Google, say who are the Jewish French that wrote the Quran? Don't know. They don't know. You don't know history. You're born into the religion, Muffy. No one ever studied it. Nobody ever knows.
That's true.
So you can't question Islam. You get your head cut off. You can't question none of that shit that ain't even real. It's like Christianity. You better not question Jesus. It ain't real. It's a control system. Say, who are the French scholars who wrote the Quran? And they're Jews. Right, well, I thought they hated the Jews. Man, you don't know the religion. It's a control factor. The elite don't worship that
is
shit.
what it says in the Quran. Like in the Quran, it says all Christians, all infidels, and all Jews will burn in hell. That is what it says, like in the Quran. Yeah, you're right about that.
Exactly. You find anything on it, Spike?
Let me see.
Yeah.
It's in 644.
There you go. Pull it up. Yeah, that's when they start writing it. The Quran don't become the book of Islam until 1920. It's like 100 years ago.
Wow.
Because they weren't even called Islam. They were called Mohammedan. It wasn't even called Islam. That's the new shit. So, yes, Mike, so you know exactly. We doing the real history of it that most Islamic people don't even know. It wasn't even called Islam. because it had no book. They said, man, we got to make a goofy book with this shit. It was called Muhammadan. So when they showed, oh, Islam, it wasn't even called that, stupid. It was called Muhammadan.
Wow.
They put it up for me, Spike. Said, who were the who were the Mohammedans? Oh, I say when did Islam? When was Islam called Mohammedan? Was it called it wasn't called Muslims. They were called Mohammedans. They don't become Islam till they write the goofy Quran, and they just wrote that shit 100 years ago. When they finally ratified it, when they had the Saudis finally ratify it. Called the Mohammedans. Say the Mohammedans. Like
that's true,
say
Keys.
this. Who were the Mohammedans? Good. What's it say, Mumpy? We lost Mumpy.
I think
it's probably got a copyright. It's probably got a copyright. It shows it. Yeah, he probably talking about the copyright on that shit. So he's learning all this stuff. But I don't try to teach no Islamic dudes none of this shit. They're crazy. They'll catch you just like that little boy in Nigeria. Spike, you said, got locked up at 9 years old for telling the truth about that shit. He cussed against Allah, Spike.
That was blasphemy. Those are the blasphemy laws, and that is why the US is trying to say right now that Mike Pompeo was saying that they are putting it on a list of religious intolerance. They were saying that in Nigeria right now.
Hey, Spike, did you say they gave that little boy 20 years or something crazy?
I was about 14. I was 14.
14.
About 14.
Spike, you get somebody 14 years for talking about a cartoon character. That's what it is. Somebody who never lived. You gave a child 14 years because of your goofy belief, your goofy lie. That's how insane the shit has become.
And now, of course, what is happening, because we all know that the northern part of Nigeria is an Islamic, it's predominantly Islam. What they're trying to do is that with all the fighting, the Boko Haram and everyone else is trying to convert this particular nation into an Islamic nation. And that is where the division is coming in, apart from the tribalism.
Exactly. But the government and the French allowing that to happen. Why can't they wipe out Boko Haram, Spike? How can a ragtag group of rebellion just keep going in? You gonna do take your army, go in and wipe them out, huh? Because the motherfucking Buhari government wants that shit because they're Islamic. They want to try to force other Christians to become that goofy shit for more power inside the country.
Yes, I
you
believe.
Understand? They're complicit. They're complicit with that shit.
Yes, that is.
Why don't we got Boko Haram? We got Islam here in America. We got. Why is there no Boko Haram running around Colorado or Florida? You know why? Because the U.S. government will wipe their ass out. That's why. Why we don't got a terrorist group just running wild in Northern America, Northern United States, in New York, in L.A. You know why? Because the American government would wipe their ass out. That's why. You got no terrorist group running around any other countries but African nations. So let you know, the government also is involved in it. You ain't got no terrorist group running around. Let's ask General Mosquito. General Mosquito, is there a terrorist group running around Britain?
Is
there a terrorist group called Boko Haram or Al Shabaab?
I'm saying these really are the goal is that to destabilize. I think we lost.
Back in the chat room.
We lost the network.
Get back in the chat room, brother. Get back in the chat room. I mean, get back on the panel, Mumpy. Get back on the panel. Go ahead, say it again.
He says the network is bad. He's saying his network is bad. That is why he's not able to come back.
I don't care, goddamn. We need Mumpy David in here. That's a brilliant young man. So, but see, that's a brilliant young brother. We need a million Mumpy Danfords in Africa, Jack. When you start getting a million Mumpy Danfords, Africa will start to rise again. Because he's the pinnacle of knowing himself again. So he's going against what his father taught him. like I'm going against my father and his goofy Christianity. You're waking up to the truth. He's the truth. Because they didn't know as much as you. They're your fathers, but they didn't know as much as you. That's just a fact. It's not bad.
What is
you know
what is happening right now? They say with the internet, what is happening right now that with the internet, the generation living today has a lot of access to information than all of the other different generations.
Yeah, they do, but they don't know what to look. They do spike. But the only problem is that they don't know what to look for, and also Africa, the internet's so expensive. Africa, the internet doesn't make any sense. It's expensive as hell. Africa's the most expensive internet on the planet. And the other place is cheap. You know why? Because they want to make sure the Africans stay stupid, because that's where all the resources are at. And if I don't know where to look up, they got the internet, but it's full of fucking debauchery, fake ass rap songs and bad music. I don't know where to look. But eventually the knowledge will come to you. Eventually you'll find some video. What's this video back? You turn on, it said, Islam was called the Mohammedans. This is not true. Let me take this to my dad. Dad, was Islam called the Mohammedans? I don't know, son. I don't know. Your dad don't know. Those are all lies from the internet, son. You put down that evil phone. Those are lies. Lies. Lies, I tell you. It's all true. Wasn't called Islam. Wasn't called no damn Muslim. It was Mohammedan. They didn't have no goofy book. The white Jews wrote that goofy book. That Islamic book of that Quran, which means Bible verses. So you know the truth, but you got to keep it to yourself because people will kill your ass. You think when I go to Tanzania and I know they Muslims, I try to tell them that the Quran is fraudulent? No, I just love them and keep it pushing. I don't try to tell them nothing. They say Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam, and all praise to Allah. I said, yeah, brother, yeah, do your thing, man. Do something, brother. Do you believe in Allah? Nah. Just let me be me. Now you do you now. I'm not. I don't try to. Go ahead, Mike.
For countries like Tanzania, there is a tolerance when it comes to religion, but in Nigeria and Sahara,
of course, the tolerance. I know the science about people going to sleep. Even in a Christian country, I don't go crazy about Christianity. I come to one of them crazy Kenyans run around, a white man is Jesus, some dirty white man. Say, hey, brother, that's not real. That white man is some homeless motherfucker. You shut up. That's Jesus. You shut your mouth. You blaspheme against the Lord. Okay. I know what fight to fight, Mike. I don't.
You decide to pick your fights. You decide to pick your battles wisely.
Exactly right.
In the evening we shall be sharing that video. I wasn't able to share it yesterday. We had a bit of a hit as well, but I hope today I shall be sharing that image, the video. Sorry, where we do have.
We're doing an Africa Today show. We're doing an Africa Today show.
Yeah, them telling the truth about what is happening with our history, and of course claiming it, because the Africans need to claim it back. There is one thing about knowing that it was yours, and there's also another thing about claiming it back. Because even when it comes
back, Spike, we've been demoralized. We don't know who we are. The African lacks what? Self-confidence. If you don't know your history, people can tell you that you was never nothing. That's what the white man done. He told you we wasn't shit. So when Mumpy Dampers knowing his Moorish history, that's not true. Everything came from you as African people. Were you as divided? No, you didn't have all these goofy tribes. That comes when you start fighting amongst each other. And then creating another tribe and another tribe and another tribe. But the funny thing that you're still all Bantu people. You think the person let's say the people that they still call Bantu in Nigeria and the Bantus in Kenya are different people? No, they're not. They're the same damn people. Africa had no borders. So you walk back and forth throughout the continent. You didn't have any borders. They went up and say, hey, show me your visa. You got a passport to be over here. Like, what are you talking about? Get out of here. That's why the same Bantu people are sitting in Kenya, sitting in Nigeria. The same people. Same damn people. Hey, shit, same people. You had no damn passports, no damn visas to walk throughout Africa. You say, oh man, I don't like what the motherfuckers doing over here in this part, whatever Kenya was called then. I'm going over here and build my own kingdom. Damn they ass. So you would fight, build another kingdom over here, another kingdom down in South Africa, another kingdom over Southwest Africa, whatever. But you were the same people. That's why you look at this shit. When you start getting your African mind back, you see them doing the same dances, a little different, same drums, a little different, because you broke off from one people. Damn it. That's why. Same Semitic practices all throughout Africa. It's hilarious.
That is just the way it has been done to divide the people. Nonetheless, we are winding up, but we shall also have that video on the other show. But I just want to thank Bombi Damp. I think we lost him for the internet. But
I love Bumpy Damper. That's when you start getting 1,000, then 10,000, then 100,000, then 100,000, a million Bumpy Damper, that let you know the continent's going to wake up, because he's going to teach his children the truth. They're not going to be taught what his father taught him. So you got to understand it. That's the rising back of Africa. Africa, you taught everybody. You don't hold your head down to nobody. That's what you've been told lies. You've taught everybody. Everything comes to you. Science, spirituality, mathematics. All of it comes from you, from us. So when you didn't know that, you felt, oh, the white man is better than me, the white Arab, the Chinese man is better than you. How the fuck is anybody better than you? Indians better than me. You taught them. You taught them. But you don't know that. So now you're back there. Now you imagine you the teacher and now your student is talking to you crazy. You come back in the classroom and your student is now talking to you crazy. That's what's going on in the world. The student is now talking to the teacher crazy as shit. The student, sit down and shut up, teacher. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. The students are talking to the teachers crazy as shit. And the teacher doesn't remember that he was the teacher. He thinks he's the student. And the student is told the teacher, yeah, I'm the teacher. I taught your dumb ass. And that's a lie. And that's when you see history, no, that's a lie. I taught you. We're going to cover this up. And you shut up. You shut your dirty black mouth.
I believe the knowledge is coming back to the people. But nonetheless, I just want to thank everyone that has joined us on this.
Before you leave, calm down. Before you leave, we ain't got no other shows. Calm down. There's no reason to rush shit. Calm down.
I think to get some lunch. I haven't eaten, but nonetheless,
because you don't got the express show coming, and Cammy's not there. Cammy's not here, so calm down. Like, then you go. Let's see. Your mother might have did. Did your grandmother ever accept the Christian religion, Mike? Did your grandmother ever accept it?
No, the people didn't have religion back then, so she actually didn't get into that religion. Get into the religion.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So did your mother accept the Christian religion? Did your mother accept it?
Yeah, my mom, of course, when she went to school, the school system.
So what did she do? So because your grandmother's still alive, what is their interaction with your mother and your grandmother? I know your mother tried to convert your grandmother, right?
Yeah,
what was the interaction?
What happened is that the schooling system was run by the churches. For example, there is the Presbyterian, the Presbyterian church and the Catholic church. All of them started churches, and that is where the kids will be taken to. And that is why I believe my mom and the rest of her sisters and brothers
Of course, like I'm saying, of course, they were forced to learn that. But what is her interaction talking to her mother? Because her mom, what is
she has trying to tell them about my mom, of course, tried to tell my grandmother and my grandfather about what they were learning in school, what religion is and things like that. But my grandmother didn't, and my grandfather also did not really care that that much for the religion, because she knows what her mother, my grandmother knows what her mother and the other people used to practice.
Yeah, exactly. See, so wild thing, Spike. You're one of the few Africans that still got that. That's a prideful thing. Your grandmother knows what your grandmother knows what her mother and her grandparents taught her. Before the white man showed up, they know it wasn't no Christianity nonsense. So, I would just because you're one of the few people, Spike, in Africa that still has that. That most people's grandparents have passed away, and they don't got that linkage back to know that your grandparents or your great grandparents did not accept the religion. They don't know about this religion, so that didn't make them evil, right? They weren't evil because they didn't know your white God. So I just love. That's why I say when you go home, you need to do a damn interview of your mama and your grandmother, and have them talking about, Mama, did you try to get grandma to ever worship the Jesus? And what happened? She said, no, daughter, no. I'm not upset that that's not our ways. That's not our tradition. Now, if you believe in it, good for you, but that's not our tradition. Can you hear me, Spike? I lose you.
There's a bit of I think there's a bit of a lag or something. But what I do believe is that I hope when I get, when I go home, I'll get that interview with my grandmother and ask her, what systems are they had? Because I believe there were rainmakers. There were people who used to go and conduct their rituals and ceremonies. I do not really know about the full extent of the rituals and the ceremonies and the traditional spiritual systems. But what I do believe is that people need to go back
you need to keep that alive. You need, yes, you need to have that information, Spike, because that's powerful. You need to know that. More, you need to know that Christian shit that your mama learned from the people that were indoctrinated her to rule Kenya. They were indoctrinating the Kenyans to rule it. Say the Africans on the bad, and this is the same way in Ghana where you got the white angel and the black man is the devil. Shit, that's what they teach you, which is a lie. The black guy is the God. He's the closest thing to God.
I was sharing with us earlier the doctrination that King Leopold, the letter King Leopold wrote to the missionaries, and how he was ordering the missionaries to make sure that they make the Africans dumb and dumb and dumb, using religion and indoctrinating them.
Yes.
And that is a work that was continued, not just in the Congo, but even in Kenya and everywhere else on the continent. That is the same work.
Everywhere. That was indoctrination. That was indoctrination everywhere. Make the African stupid because he's already going to sleep. We've already in a sleep mode. All our traditions, we had disintegrated from all our traditions. Make the Africans believe he ain't never been nobody, he never done nothing, right? Make him believe he had never done nothing. Make him believe he was less than you. He already told you, never treat the African as an equal. So how can you tell me you bringing me a religion and it's not even treat me to be equal? It's treat me to be a slave. That's how you know the religion's not real. It's a political thing to dominate you. It's a political thing to dominate you. It was never given to you out of love. This Jesus loves you. He tells you to be on the bottom, to not have nothing, while you work for white people, give them all your resources, and you'll get your heaven when you die. The white man gets his heaven now, though. Well, what kind of goofy religion is this? It ain't working for me. Well, you shut up, you dirty nigga. This is the religion we're giving you.
That was the start. That was the start of the decline for the people. But nonetheless, I was saying that right now people need to start researching and going back to the original systems, and that is perhaps how we can be able to move way back into our dominance. I was saying
but you got a gold mine. Like you actually one of the people who have a connection. Most Africans don't have that connection you got that predates the Christianity that came to Kenya. You still lucky enough to got the your grandmother who's living can tell you you need to learn what her grandparents taught her. You need to know that, Spikes. You still got that lineage. You still have it. Now, you know how much a blessing that is? You have a direct reach back into Kenya in the 18th century, well, 1900s, whatever. You have that linkage of the early 20th century. You got it right there. You better get that shit before your grandmother passes away. You need that. You need that knowledge. Need that shit. Man, you so damn lucky you don't even know it. That's a damn blessing. My God, that's a blessing. I would love to have, unfortunately, us, hell, we went into slavery. We had Christianity for the last 400 years. Here, shit. I don't got that linkage back. I had to learn all that shit on my own. But you got the actual linkage back with your grandmother. Precious.
I don't know if the audio is still on. I'm not sure I can get the audio from Keith. But nonetheless, family, we almost winding up. We were talking about the issue of religious intolerance right there in Nigeria. But nonetheless, I do hope that the people also take it upon their responsibility to make sure that they are holding the government accountable, because the government is the one that is, also responsible in terms of restricting and also allowing for the freedom of us, the freedom of our worship in Nigeria. There are so many, of course, also other different systems, and not just Christianity and Islam. I also believe the other religious system, the traditional system, are also working in place, and our people should also delve into getting to knowing these systems much, much better. Once again, we are almost winding up, and I want to appreciate everyone that has joined us on the show. I want to wish you a happy and productive remaining part of the day. Remember to join us on the Africa Today show on the Black Hot Fire Network. Till then, much peace and love. I want to say kwaheri.
Sometimes I want you close, sometimes I want my space. Just know I'm gonna call if I need you. It's not my job to please you. Never been your average girl, so take time with me, take time. Baby, talk to me with some action. Think I got a place for your passion. Cool down someone, cool down please, cool down, cool down.